Welcome to David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
How's everybody doing today? We're going to have a little bit of fun today. Me and this lady has been trying to hook up and try to get her in the studio. And me and her PR person decided we're just going to go ahead and do a virtual today, just to at least, get her on the show. And because I've listened to this young lady and she has got a heck of a voice on her, and she has got some damn good songs. When y'all get a chance, after y'all see the show, look her up, check her out, because I mean, it's I would like to put her in my list of up and coming, because she is just kicking butt out there. So everybody, please say hi to Miss Dariann Leigh. Hi, Dariann.
Hi, thank you for the compliments and thank you for having me. That's so sweet.
They pay me good.
That's good. So I asked you.
When you do stuff for free, but it gets fun though. No, it's I have actually listened to your stuff, and I like the way that you write on your songs too, because I mean you're giving them a real good feel,
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably what a lot of that is probably coming from your hometown, because you had like a small hometown.
Yeah. Smaller than most people's small towns.
I don't know. I had Chris Turner on here, and his hometown had one red light and one grocery store. That was it.
My hometown has no red lights, no stoplights.
So you got
a grocery store. We do have 3 gas stations because one is never enough.
No, you got to have 3.
Exactly, but they're all in the same 4 corner, so it's like one 4-way stop signs. We don't have stoplights in my hometown.
Okay, that don't make no sense.
No. I mean, my hometown classifies basically as a village. So there's no need for stoplights or lights or anything. It just be a waste of the energy that it would take to do that, I guess.
Oh yeah. Whatever. I went through a small town, and it's funny. I don't know. I doubt if you've ever heard of this place, because I used to drive over the road truck. And there's a small place out in Kansas, and it's called Hooker, Kansas.
Nice.
And there's one of the largest meat processing plants out there.
Interesting.
And, yeah. And it's got maybe, I'm wanting to say 2 red lights. But once you go like 400 feet to the other side of the second red light, you're out of town.
Right.
I mean, it's just everything's right there. And
it's got a very interesting name first, and it does still have red lights though. So it's got most of the towns in my hometown area beat just by having lights. The only lights we have are for the train tracks, for the arms.
Yeah, I can see that.
You don't even have arms. You just watch. You pay attention.
And hope.
Exactly. God forbid.
So where'd you get your whole writing type thing going on? Because I mean, like I said, your writing is a little bit unique to me. It's not that cookie cutter norm. That's what really interested me about you.
Yeah. I have a hard time writing stuff that I don't feel, which I always say maybe sets things apart in a way of it feels a lot more raw and willing to hit on the stuff that is really personal. But my hometown is huge on all of my writing. Obviously, my personal life, like I said, I have a hard time writing stuff and releasing stuff specifically that I don't feel personally. But really, honestly, I fell into songwriting at a really young age before I was even able to comprehend that I was writing songs. It was truly just the way that I could be at school 10 years old thinking something or feeling some type of way, and I'd write it down. Had no idea, could never conceptualize the idea at that point that I was writing a song. It was just something that I wrote down. It had a melody in my head and I didn't think anything more of it. So it came from a really natural place without it being desired. Like I wasn't desiring writing a song. It was more like a diary entry. And I think that's kind of been the thing that has set the tone for me with songwriting, even now, many years later, writing songs still.
Yeah, I've actually talked to a couple of friends of mine, and they were in the business, but they started out and they thought they were just writing rough poems.
Yeah.
you know, and then later on when they got older, they stumbled onto that book and they're just like, holy crap, I was writing songs, didn't even know it.
Exactly. It's so easy to do it too when you're that young, and it's not something that you're trying to aspire towards. You're just writing the way that you feel. It could be that so-and-so cut in front of you in the lunch line today, and that was just the thing that made you sad or whatever the feelings were. But I don't know. There's something very beautiful about the idea of it being so open and honest, but not tried for. That makes it so different, I think.
Yeah, and I get, and there's a lot of country music fans out there. They just go so sick and tired of that cookie cutter stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it drives me nuts.
Right. I mean, I don't think I'm necessarily innocent of not doing cookie cutter songwriting sometimes. I definitely am guilty as charged. You could claim it right now. But I don't know. I think songwriting is evolving so much more, and people are getting a lot more vulnerable again and telling more stories, which I think is really awesome to be able to see the vulnerability back in songwriting. And it's not that it was completely gone, but you're seeing it hit mainstream a lot bigger, I think, now than you maybe were a few years ago.
Well, that's, you know, and I got to thinking about it the other day, you know, with this whole writer strike and everything. Been worried about AI and all that stuff, you know. It's already out there on Facebook. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Where you can just put something in and it'll write a country song for you. And I'm just like,
it's different though. It's not heartfelt. A robot cannot feel emotions. So I always say that, like, we'll worry about it till the end of the time, but technology will come to a halt if electronics are down for a day. So whereas our brains won't. So
well, it makes me wonder, you know, nobody watched Terminator. I mean, come on.
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
I watched it. I was scared to death. I'm sitting there thinking all kinds of crap, you know?
Right.
I mean, it's bad enough. There's so many automated systems out there right now. It drives me nuts.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like social media or like anything else in the world. It's a double-edged sword where sometimes it can help situations a lot, and other times it can definitely be the decline of, you know, jobs for people or just really any other circumstance. It can just be a negative thing. I guess it's all in, I don't know how you're taught it when you're younger, but just like using your sources, citing your sources, find where things are applicable and where they're not. So I don't know. I've not touched it. I've had zero to do with it just because it's too much to me. I'm not interested in talking with robots, I guess, or asking it to do things, but I have heard it's really cool. I have friends that use it for meal prep. I feel like, what should I make this week? And honestly, I don't blame them. I'm scrolling Pinterest for like an hour trying to get simple meals for two ideas. So I can't judge.
Well, I'll tell you. Now, here's something that my mom and my grandmother taught me, and I'm going to pass this on to you. Because my mom and my grandmother, it didn't matter what was going on. When it got time for dinner, they would walk to the cabinets.
Right.
And look and try to put something together with whatever they had, you know. Right. And 9 times out of 10, it was like just delicious. I mean,
right.
That's the only way you could think of it, you know.
It's a skill.
And they taught me that. Now, I think when you take and you try to plan a meal and you got all these cookbook ingredients and all this other stuff, you know, okay, now you're going to stress because now you got to run to the store. Now you got to get this. Now you got to
I mean, you run into the store anyways. The food's got to get in the cabinet somehow, you know? I do like it though.
Walmart.
True. See, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, I'll sit down and I'll look at like ideas that I might want to make. I don't really follow a whole lot of recipes. That's how I was taught as a kid. You just kind of like, my mom would be like, I dump about this much in there. And you're like, all right, so about 12 shakes of the hand. So just
pretty much
feeling whatever Jesus tells you today, like whatever's going on. And that's how my grandparents and my parents are too. It's all just go straight to the cabinet. Oh, we're going to have this for dinner. Yeah. I don't keep a lot in my pantry though. Maybe I should do that. If I look at my pantry right now, I'd be eating oatmeal or tortillas. So
I'm a single guy, so that could be scary opening my cabinets.
You might be just eating oatmeal and tortillas like me. I don't think the two of those mix very well.
I got all kinds of stuff up there. Yeah, but that's what they taught me, you know, kind of like what, you know, your mom taught you and everything. You cook with love. You just grab whatever you can grab and put it together. And next thing you know, you've done created something, you know?
True.
Are you dropping me? What are you doing?
You are not dropped. My phone just took a good tumble. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I've got people calling me too because everybody's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Leave me alone. I'm doing a show."
Important things. You're doing important things.
Ah, fun. I'm an old guy having fun.
He said, "Ah."
Man, I've got all kinds of stuff on you.
Oh man. Oh, he's got he got a file.
Look, all this stuff.
Oh my goodness.
My assistant pulled all this stuff on you like 2 months ago.
That's hysterical. That was I spotted one thing on there already, and I think I already know what one image is.
Which one?
It's one. I think I saw one that had like neons kind of going in from either side.
Oh, the multicolor one?
Yeah. That's an old. Yeah. That's an oldie. Those are like probably what, like 2019?
I have no clue, to be honest with you.
I think that's around.
She pulls this stuff, and then what I do is I read it.
The archives. She went back.
I'm telling you, I'll tell every guy out there watching, if you want to know the facts about people, ask a woman to do it.
We stalk on Facebook, on Instagram.
Exactly. I mean,
it should basically be a job. I mean, I'm sure it already is, but
oh yeah, it is. But yeah, she gave me all this stuff, and I'm just like, you know, I don't do a whole lot of Q&A. I just kind of bullshit, you know. And she was bringing stuff, and I'm just like, you need to trim it back a little bit.
But she did her homework. I can appreciate
she does her homework. Just like, yeah, this has got to be, oh my God, 2019, 2018, maybe.
That photo was probably
there's a picture of
those
you
were
in the
like
studio.
Those were like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
There was actually 2018. Thinking about it, I know exactly when the one photo was taken that was in that. Those are 2018 photos. She went back in time. She opened my yearbook.
I don't know. I mean, did you have a diary? That might be in here too. Who knows?
Who knows?
No, but the one thing that really attracted me the most was the small town roots, Nashville voice.
Mm-hmm.
I love that caption. I thought it was cool.
Thank you.
And that's what we need. We need more people that can get into that. Get out of the cookie cutter, you know?
Yeah.
It's just something.
Being inside a box is no fun.
Tell me about it. I hate it. Can't stand being in a box.
No.
That's like everybody that, you know, when I started doing this stuff, we was talking about technology a while ago. I had no clue some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the StreamYard stuff, I had no clue.
Right. I think most people didn't. Things like Zoom and all of that really came to light a lot more throughout 2019, I guess, or 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Even before then, like live streaming wasn't even as big on social medias, unless you're like gaming, really. So,
well, I'm from that generation where when we actually did get cell phones, texting considered ABCD,
right?
CD, D, F, F, E, E, you know.
You had to work to type hello.
Yeah.
Now it's just right there.
It wasn't no fun.
Sometimes they'll just prompt it for you. It just knows.
Well, my daughter, she texts. I don't know how she does it, but it's 2 thumbs, and she will probably text 100 words a minute.
Yeah, you get used to it. I mean, my dad's always like, my thumbs are too fat to do this too quick, and his keyboard's like so much bigger than mine, and I make fun of him for it. But I get it. It's crazy.
I can't do it. I'm not good.
You got to use talk to text, and they have that button. You just hit the little microphone to talk to text.
No, because it screws up.
See, but that just makes it more interesting. It leaves things up to perception.
Yeah, but that can also get me in trouble.
True, true. See, that wouldn't be my problem at that point. I was only the suggester.
I got paperwork fell on the floor.
We're all dropping things.
I know. It gets crazy. Anna's probably sent me another email. Did you get her? Did you get her? No, she's good.
There we go.
I guess she's happy now.
Yes.
Thank you, Anna. She'll be bugging me later. Watch. Don't be talking about me. So what was you doing CMA Fest?
Oh, CMA Fest this year, I did 2 different booth signings, one with Nashville Universe as well as one with Roper, the country Western wear apparel brand. And then I also was playing downtown like I normally do. I played at Jason Aldean's for the first time, actually full band, which was really cool. Now I do that every weekend or almost every weekend when I'm here. And yeah, just signings and interviews and all of the things is really fun. It's always a good time.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. And cutting, I ran out of market materials the first day. Like I just given them all out. And so I had to go get more things done. I was like cutting stickers, putting in the work, putting in all the hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I do. I was down there at Nashville doing everything I could, and I had 14 shows in 3 days. It was insane. I've never done that before down there. Was this your first time at CMA Fest, or
it was my second? I'd never been throughout the entire weekend/week. Because last year I'd gone home and was doing some opening act shows. This year I was actually here for the full CMA Fest, which was really fun. Also, it was nice to be able to like appreciate every different ounce of CMA Fest and not have to be like, all right, we're getting everything out on Friday because you're not going to be here Saturday, sort of a thing. So I felt like I was able to pace myself a little bit more, and I've grown to appreciate the opportunity to do things slower sometimes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's got to be key. For everybody that wants to know, I had to use the restroom. I stopped StreamYard. FYI, you cannot do that and go back to recording on the same stream. You have to redo it. So, FYI.
Keeps you on your toes.
Got to. What guitar you got back there?
Right there I have a Taylor. That one's an older one. I got that one when I was like 14.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's taken a few beatings, so it's kind of in retirement now, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Fell off stage last summer. Took a brutal hit. Got it fixed, but it's just one of those things where I was like, all right, it might be time. It's taken other beatings as well, so it's got scars. It's got character.
Yeah, that's what makes them sound so daggum good.
Exactly.
I mean, look at Willie Nelson's guitar.
Exactly. See, this one, like the face of it, I guess it's in this direction on here. The face of it still looks really, really good. The side's just really roughed up. But that's okay. Yeah. It got fixed. That's all that matters.
It's good. I was telling a buddy of mine because I'd read where somebody said, and they don't recommend this, but Les Pauls sound better after you break or crack the neck and you get them repaired. I don't know. Yeah, I don't play guitar. I've never been able to.
I mean, I guess I really don't. I mean, maybe because you're changing something out in it. I'm just trying to think of the logics behind that, like what the technicalities, I don't know.
I have no clue.
When I broke mine, one of the people was like, your guitar would have been easier to fix if the neck snapped off. And I was like, that seems completely counterintuitive to the problem that I have right now, but that's totally fine. Because it was literally just like the bracing right here that broke because it hit there. And they're like, you would have been better off if you snapped the neck off. And I was like, that seems like it's not helpful, but thank you.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Did it sound better after you got it fixed?
It sounds great. I mean, honestly, I would say it sounds about the exact same. I don't think it sounds any different. Mainly because they fixed the body up perfectly. Like you can't even, yeah. I would say it doesn't sound any different now. That guitar's always sounded good though.
Yeah. Now
sounds better as it gets older.
I've been thinking about either getting I don't know what I want. I mean, I like a Martin. I like a Taylor.
They're both good guitars. I mean, you'll run into different things when it comes to electronics on guitars, but if you're just looking for a playing guitar, you can't go wrong with either.
Well, I want to get it for here at the studio.
Right.
And if somebody comes up and, oh, well, they forgot the guitar or something and they want to play a song or something, then, well, I got one on the wall, you know?
Right.
But I'm old school when it comes to recording and stuff. I don't care if you got electronics or not. You are not plugging in.
There you go. So I would say then it doesn't matter a whole lot. You just pick the one you like.
Yep. I'll mic it up. I don't care. I love it gives it a richer, deeper tone, I think.
It does. I mean, it depends on also the sound hookup you have too, because sometimes that can make things sound brighter. So when it's just the guitar, yeah, you're dealing with the pure guitar sounds, you know.
See, I love it that you know a little bit about sound.
You have to. I could go on about it all day long. Me and my friends talk about it all the time.
Well, I mean, you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't.
Right.
They ain't got a clue.
Right.
I
like a Taylor, but I also think Martins are to be appreciated for their sound quality when it comes to live performance.
I just appreciate them because of their price.
You have to appreciate if for anything, that alone.
Because I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna buy me a guitar and put it on the wall. And then I started shopping and I was just like, holy crap.
Wall decor. If they're wall decor, they're expensive wall decor.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You can go to an art show.
me and a friend of mine, Coley Carr, we went down to in Franklin. They had this big, huge guitar show.
Mm-hmm.
And we were walking around and just because even though I don't play, I appreciate the sound of them. I appreciate the beauty of them. And Coley he's a fantastic picker. I mean, he's just awesome. But he's been playing ever since he was like 12, you know. And we're out there looking at guitars and everything. And of course, I'm picking on him. Hey, that one's only $1,500, dude. Your wife won't beat you for that one, you know. And we ran across one $70,000.
Oh, some of them cost well over the amount of a car. You can walk even into a Guitar Center and I look at them and I'm like, that is more than the down payment of a car. Mm-hmm. But you get to play them. Sometimes they'll let you play them. I don't really ask just because I like to. You play them and you're like, well, it makes a lot of sense, I guess. It makes sense. They just sound so pure. Like the sound is just so rich out of them. Every guitar is a different quality as well, just with the wood that they're made with. I have one that's made out of sinker wood and it sounds so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just the type of wood that you get them into. Like the sinker wood, for instance, it's like a tree that's in water for many, 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 many years. They take that out, they dry it out, they build a guitar out of it. Insane. Just the idea of that alone is insane, you know.
That sounds like you could build a guitar if you wanted to.
Yeah, you totally could.
No, I'm talking about you. I couldn't do it.
No. I don't know if I should be building a guitar. I might need to have guidance that is more than guidance, but does a good 80% of the work, and I maybe just stand there and tell them when things look pretty. That's about as much help as I
that's it. Just when they look pretty. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I took wood shop growing up. I have 3 older brothers. My dad made sure I know how to build things and cars, and I don't know how to build a car, but just understanding the basics behind things. My dad had tools all the time growing up, and he's fixing stuff. But there's something about a guitar that it'd take me a lot of practice to be able to do more than just say when it looks nice.
I couldn't do it. And I've always been handy my whole life. There's no way I could do it. I couldn't even repair one.
I wouldn't even want to try to repair just because I wouldn't want to do something wrong.
Yeah. And I've actually made friends with a guy that used to, he worked inspecting the guitars for 25 years, I think.
Wow.
So anytime a Gibson come out, Les Paul or Strat or whatever, his name was on it. He inspected it.
Right.
He plays with Clinton Q now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Ray, he's a good boy.
That's cool.
He's funny as hell though. Man. This has been a day. Did you get any of that storm?
Say that again.
Did you get any of that storm coming through?
No, I was at a rite actually earlier in East Nashville. So we got it. There's a little bit there. It got really dark, but it didn't seem too bad today. Yesterday we took a lot of that crazy rainstorm, windstorm, but
yeah, I got here and I guess the lightning knocked everything out or whatever. And it was just, everything was shut down.
Right.
Because I usually leave the computers running and everything.
Right.
I was just like, holy crap, man.
There's always got to be something. You got to have something to get excited about sometimes. I've basically come to that conclusion that you're always going to, you can find things to get yourself a little hyped up about no matter how big and or small, and life's just going to continue to give them to you. So I like to pick the lesser things that make no sense to get too excited about so I can spend 5 minutes on it and then laugh at myself later because I'm like, I was ridiculous. I was at the beach last week and there's this person that was, he just really enjoyed feeding the birds. And I was like, man, he's got to quit feeding these birds right next to me because they're going to poop on my head while I'm sunbathing or whatever I'm trying to do, running up and down the beach, whatever. And then I was like, you know what? In reality, if it's making him happy, whatever, it's kind of entertaining for me. It also gives me something to complain about that's so minuscule that affects me so little that I'll get over it.
Well, it's like we talked about earlier. Today's my birthday.
Right.
And what I've learned, because I used to sweat big stuff. I used to have, it was always, everything was huge. Everything was this, everything was that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the older I get, it's the little things that just bring a little bit of joy, you know?
Right.
And so I kind of get it when you see an older guy. I wouldn't do it, but feeding the birds or whatever, you know. I mean,
it was actually my birthday when they were doing that, and I was like, man, I swear if a bird poops on my head on my birthday, I'm gonna be so sad. I was like, I feel like I'm being tested by the universe today. I got stung by a wasp. Like there was just things happening, and I was like, man, the last thing I need is to be pooped on by a bird. But if it's making this person so happy, I'm just gonna say, you know what? Good for you.
Hey,
bad for me.
At least they didn't steal your food or whatever else was laying
No. They came and went, and then by the time they left, all the birds left us alone. So I got no grounds to complain about besides the slight fear that I was going to get pooped on, which could happen in retrospect no matter what's happening. So,
hey, that's a country song right there.
I guess so. That one might be in the cookie cutter though. I don't know if that one's outside of the box enough.
Oh. Yeah, you might be right about that. I know. Well, I mean, you could change it around a little bit.
True. Maybe I'll pitch it to someone else.
Yeah, just give it to somebody else. Hey, here, I got a great song for you. It's all about getting pooped on, dude.
I guess so. I don't know that I like that one. I'll definitely have to pitch it. Pitch it really far away.
So you not only write your own songs, but you help write other songs for other people too, don't you?
Yeah. That's one of the craziest things that I feel like I get to do that I appreciate so much because it's just so fun. Songwriting is so honest, and it's something you get to tell these stories that other people can relate to. And I always kind of view it as like I'm painting this canvas of a song, and everybody's going to see it / hear it in their very own way, hearing the song versus seeing a photo. Yeah. And it's really cool to be able to do that also and have your own emotions tied to it, but somebody else is going to see it in a whole different light. They're going to take it a whole different way. Because I've had songs that I've thought were very, geared towards, like, I have 10,000 Miles, which is about my boyfriend when he was serving overseas in the Marine Corps, which I thought was just very, very service oriented. But then there's people that were like, I'm long distance with my girlfriend or this person or that person, and I relate to it for this and this and this reason.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those things where it's like everybody's going to see something different in it. And that's why art is art. And that's why art is oftentimes not entirely explainable via words,
That's one of the things I talk about on here sometimes. It's people don't realize how far back in human history music actually goes.
Right.
If it wasn't beating on our chest, it was beating rocks or drums or tree trunks or whatever. I mean, it all started, and music has always been a part of our life.
Right.
And like, you might write a song with a clear definition of what you want that song to be and what it means to you. 5,000 other people, it will mean something totally different.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful part of it, is art is never subjective. It's entirely inclusive, and it can be anything that anybody needs it to be, which is one of the most honoring things I think about, not only just writing and releasing music for myself, but also writing music for other people, because they're going to see it in their light, and nobody's light is wrong. Everybody's shining a light on a different topic. So I just think it's so inclusive, and it's so inviting to listen to a song that you can just have an entirely different idea on. And I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah. See, I love that. And that's where the cookie cutter songs, they're kind of cut and dry.
But I think it's to be said that people could still feel the same thing. It's just, it might not be the same for you. Everybody's experience is pretty unique.
Yeah. I can see that point. But there's only so many times you can talk about somebody dancing drunk in the middle of the woods with the front of the headlights.
Normally I would say that's right, but I've sat in on enough rides where you write the exact same thing, and I've heard enough songs where you hear the same thing that you might have written or have heard before. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things that time will tell, I guess. I have a feeling it'll never end.
Well, I've told several people that I'm not a songwriter, never have been. I could probably give 1,000,001 ideas to songs, but I've never been a songwriter. But it's a process that I'm actually going to talk to Chris Turner and a couple of my friends, and I'm going to see if I can't just set in, just no input, no nothing. I just want to see the process,
right,
of how it's actually all comes together. Because it's, to me, it's got to be like the whole camaraderie coming together and just creating something together.
Oh, yeah. And no write is ever really the same, in my opinion. All the writes that I've experienced writing songs that I think are huge, and those kind of songs you're like, whoa, we really tapped into another level here. They're always so different, and the experiences are always so unique versus the others, which makes it so fun, because your office is never the same. Although it might be equally as draining as another office or not. But the office is never the same. The people, the vibes, the emotions, the song is never the same.
Maybe I could rent my living room out for songwriters.
There you go.
And when you get done, we're grilling.
If that's what came to me after a songwriting, I would have zero complaints.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
Big old hunk of steak, and I could make my famous potatoes.
There you go.
I'm not giving the recipe.
It's okay. I'll accept it.
There ain't no recipe. Just throw some stuff together, put it on the grill.
Right.
Nothing but fun. How many shows have you done this year so far?
Oh.
See, I got trick questions too now.
I can look at my little list and then see what we're at right now, because I have to keep track. We're at probably
82.
I was probably pushing like 90.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it's like this year. I mean, I understood, after the COVID and everything, you got that little bit of a slow start. But this year is just like insane. People can't find tour buses. They can't find cargo vans. They can't find nothing to go out on the road and do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It is unreal. I've had several people. Yeah, I ain't doing it no more.
No.
See, where y'all was doing tour buses and all that other stuff, and you know, vans and cargo vans and all that stuff. I was out there in that big 18-wheeler running across country.
Right.
And at least on a tour bus, you got everything you need.
Right.
In the big trucks, you don't.
No. My grandfather drove semis, so I get it.
Did he? Who did he drive for?
He drove for, oh shoot,
Mind blank.
way up north. I can see his trucking jacket right now. I was literally just talking about them too because his boss just came and visited him like a week ago, and they hadn't seen each other for many years.
That's awesome.
It's out of Grand Forks, North Dakota. I can't recall the name right now, but he drove truck for a really long time. He was a dairy farmer, and then when they retired from that, he went into truck driving.
Sorry, my phone started ringing.
It's okay.
I could have sworn I put it on vibrate. See, I told you I got the weirdest podcast.
It's okay. I like different. Different makes it fun.
You know, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want cookie cutter norm. I wanted different.
Right. Well, because everything gets to be pretty similar when you're doing this too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to have something that isn't so similar.
Or just insane, or I mean, there's a whole lot of words there.
I think it was called Pro. It must have been called something after Pro, but I had a text from my mom that said Pro. I don't know if it was Pro something else. I just got that.
There's like 15, 20 Pro something else truck.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've drove for Old Dominion and Outlaw Trucking, what they used to call us back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, small mom and pop shops.
Right.
Triple digit trucks.
Right.
We just had a lot of fun.
I'm sure.
Now they've turned it into a job. Damn it. And that's why I'm trying to get out of it.
Right.
How many EPs you got out?
Ooh, I have one EP. I release them all as singles actually on streaming though. So it just shows that I have about probably 12 singles online right now.
Do you have a better turnout on just releasing the singles? Because, you know, my day, it was 12 songs, 14 songs, full album. And I've heard mixed reactions from different people that I've talked to about that.
Right. So my thing was starting with the EP was actually back in those photos that you had 2018. It's just going to be my like first intro project. So it's like my debut EP. I had 6 songs on it, and that was in the times where Luke Combs was releasing a single every 6 weeks. And it really like it changed everything so quickly to be very single based. Which honestly sometimes can make things easier for artists like myself when you're just trying to push one thing at a time, trying to gain some footwork. You know, you're just trying to get your feet in front of the other one. But it did actually give me a lot of opportunity to amp streams a little bit more. When I would sell, I sold it as a CD, but I released it as singles, one every 6 weeks, exactly like Luke Combs was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And it worked out for me. It gave me a good intro, kind of spiked my streams a little bit. And I've just been doing singles since. I'd really, really love to potentially do another EP again soon-ish, maybe in the next couple of years. But a lot of my focus right now has just been on writing, and I got my singles down for next year, which was kind of my main priority this year, was to get them written and start the recording process here. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can start writing for singles for the prior year, but also just like this next year, just focusing on potentially just another EP just to see what we can make.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, on that aspect, I can actually see where it would be more beneficial to release one song at a time because you can concentrate all your PR, everything on it.
Right.
You know, that's like with my show. If I do the normal and I drop a show every Monday, then I can do the promo, I can do this and I can do that.
Right.
But like when I was doing the live streams down there at CMA Fest, I was pulling my hair out. I didn't have a chance to do any promo. I didn't get to do anything. And then later on, I'm having to backtrack and do stuff. I'm just now starting to release the studio pics when the artists were in there doing the shows.
Right.
Because when you're in the studio, I got people taking pictures and everything because I find that fascinating.
Right.
You know, just like, do y'all do that at writers' nights and stuff?
Writers, yeah, there's normally somebody there taking photos, videos. Otherwise, I recruit my boyfriend to come and take mine. He's a good sport. He does a good job.
Yeah, see, I've gotten in it. My assistant gets on to me because like when somebody comes up to the studio and does a show or whatever, if they've got their boyfriend or their husband or whatever, I've gotten in a bad habit because I'm bad with names. I am so bad with names. And I won't ever remember their name.
Right. It's hard to.
So my bad habit is turned into, I just call them Rhodey.
Right, right. You know what? I think that's kind of fun. Nicknames are fun, even if they're purely to protect yourself from saying the wrong name.
Oh, yeah. It just, I don't know. I've always been that way. I've always been bad with names.
I'm a lot better with them once we've had a meaningful conversation. Something more than just, oh, the weather's this today, or the, hi, I'm so-and-so, what do you do, sort of a thing. Like if we've had a genuine, meaningful conversation, and that can be defined very differently. But once we've had that, I will at least remember how I met you, where I met you, and 9 times out of 10 will remember your name, but there are the occasions where I'm like, I am not positive.
Yeah.
Please don't test. That's the worst though, is like when people are like, do you remember me? What's my name? And I crumble. I just feel bad. It's happened.
Because I mean, I've run into people that I've met before.
Right.
And I just can't remember their name for nothing. And it's like, you know, dude, do that, or sup, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I walk away after the conversation or whatever, and I'm just like, I have no clue who that was. And I feel so bad.
It's so hard, and especially I feel like in this town, because you meet so many people so quickly. Like for instance, like CMA Fest, you're meeting so many people, and it's almost like your brain's just going into overdrive, just trying to conceptualize the fact that you're meeting another person, let alone remembering another person's name. So I often feel like I'll try my very, very best to, like, if I get someone's number, I will literally put in the description, met here, connected through here, they're from here, they do this. Because it at least gives me some sort of a standing to be like, okay, yes, I remember this person's face at the very least. Yeah,
because I've gotten where now, like if I put it in my phone, I'll put their first name, last name, artist, songwriter, you know, something to associate.
Right.
And then once I've had a conversation with them, like you said, you know, we're just sitting here talking and everything, I'll see you out somewhere and I'll remember you.
Exactly.
You won't get the standard sup.
Right. It's the worst though when you think you remember, but you're too nervous to say it because you don't want to say it wrong, or you don't want to say the wrong name. So
you don't want to hurt their feelings.
It's good to see you. Like it's just the pause. I normally feel like my name is remembered simply because it's very different, and I normally take how people pronounce my name as a joke, because 9 times out of 10 it isn't right, which doesn't offend me in the slightest. I honestly think it's really fun to hear how people say my name. It's
Dariann Leigh.
Dariann. Yeah, Dariann is common. You're close. You're right there. It's
I
okay.
get what you're saying.
My pastor growing up literally called me Dariann and still does to this day. And I just sounds good to me. That's my name. That's my name here, at least.
But when he prays for you and everything, I'm sure it comes across correctly up top.
I'm sure they can decipher things, and
They
2
know.
plus 2 equals 4. They'll get there somehow.
They know.
They know. And it's so funny though, because we've been going to different like communion classes. I'm from a really small town, like we said. And like my name would be Dariann, capital ANN. And everyone's like, why do they always capitalize your name? And I'm like, because they think it's 2 names. And they're like, why didn't you say something? I'm like, because I don't, at this point, I was like, I'm 17. They've been calling me this for 17 years. It's not going to change. It's fine.
Well, it's like my daughter. Her name is Anna Leigh.
Right.
And it's the short Lee, Lee.
Right.
It's 2 names.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 10 years ago, she put it together.
Gotcha.
And now she's Anna Leigh.
Right.
And the reason she done it is because whenever she got in trouble, that was the first thing out of my mouth. Anna Leigh.
Right.
But I mean, it's just, I don't know. People sometimes separate, do different things.
I think it makes it unique. It makes your relationship with people unique. Some people will just continue to say it weirdly after they've found out that my name isn't said that way. And I just think it makes it fun.
Yeah. It's like nicknames, like you was talking about nicknames.
Exactly.
What's your boyfriend's nickname?
We actually don't really do like nicknames. I'll say his full name sometimes. His name is Zach, and obviously it's Zachary. So sometimes I'll say that, but that's normally when it's like something goofy, and I'll be like, please, what's going on? It's like a middle name thing. My parents, if they said your first name and your middle name, you're like, oh, they mean business.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't think people do. The people nowadays, they actually still revert back to the babe, hun, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I still do it because I'm old.
No, I think my friends, all of us, everybody has the exact same things. It hasn't changed.
There's so many things changed. Oh, it gets crazy. Lord of mercy. I can't find it. What did I do with it? I had something I was going to ask you because I was really, really curious about it.
I'm just so intrigued by like the throwback studying. I love it.
Dude, I'm telling you, she dives in there.
She is a deep dive. That was many, 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 many posts ago.
But here's the funny part about it. There's actually, for some reason, what she pulled up with these pictures and everything, I think it's out of a magazine article.
Oh, yeah.
Where they do the question and then you do the answer.
Yeah, that must have been out of Grand Lifestyle magazine. That was in like 2019 that came out. They followed me actually when I
because there's show notes. There's show notes on here. It says, learn why Dariann is moving to Nashville.
That's a long time ago. I've been here for a minute. That was a long time ago.
Do I need to scan these and just send them to you just so you can I mean,
I'm intrigued.
It's funny. I mean, it's stuff she pulls up on people.
Hey, whatever works though.
It makes me worry though. What in the hell she been digging up on me?
Probably things from 2018. Maybe more. She's had more time to scroll, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I've known her since 9th grade.
There you go. So she didn't need to. She just was there.
Yeah. And I'm glad there was no video.
See, I'm grateful. My parents, I did not have like social media accounts for quite a while until I got a little bit older. And I'm so grateful for that because though I begged to have a Facebook account, or I used to take around their camcorder and I
Hmm.
would film myself, like film my own YouTube videos. Cause I remember when YouTube video or YouTube at all just came out. I remember discovering it, watching like music videos, things like that, because you didn't have to watch TV to watch the music video you wanted. You just had to type in whatever music video you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Awesome. The convenience was crazy. And I would film my own YouTube videos, and my parents, thank God, never let me post them because I'd be looking at them now and probably wishing that they never let me post them. So now I just discover them every once in a while, and I'm like, praise the good Lord. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for never posting these. Because though it might have done, like maybe I could have done some like YouTube thing, I'm grateful I didn't because they're so embarrassing.
Yeah, but see now here, okay. Now this is where I'm like a muse. Okay, you could actually, if you still got the footage, think of the song you could write with using different clips of that footage as growing up in a small town.
Oh yeah, I actually took a lot of footage from home videos. And I didn't write a song based off of the videos, I guess. That's a really good idea. I took the videos that I would make my YouTube videos out of and just old home videos, and I put them in my music video for my song Jackson, which is I wrote it right before I moved to Nashville, so very
Mhm.
introspective, very songwriter-y. And I use that for like all of my promo for the entire single, just because it's me sitting there singing Taylor Swift, or me sitting there thinking I'm doing a makeup tutorial or my own little talk show. And here, watch me. Like I would do my own music videos. That was my source of entertainment, was just like me and my friends would sit down and make videos, and I would sing in front of it. And yeah, it was its whole thing.
Yeah, but then pretending you're doing a talk show, that's not all cracked up. Is it?
No, I mean, our little talk show, we had like mugs, and we'd be like, "What's the weather like today, Jim?" And like one of my friends would be like, "The weather today is great over here in this place." And we were very elaborate with it. Like we did not.
Y'all got
We
in depth.
we were in depth. We had like whoever our production people were, which was just us in different roles. Our little production roles went to work.
So maybe I need to hire a bunch of 10 and 11-year-old kids.
You might need to.
Well, they probably understand the technology better than me.
They might. Don't give them an old telephone though. They won't figure out what to do with that.
Yeah. Have you seen that on Facebook?
Yeah, my family has a bunch of old phones, so I've always known my entire life how to use all the different phones. So that's never been a struggle for me, but I had friends that would look at them and be like, I've got no clue why I'm going around on a rotary phone and what's doing what.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's my granddaughter. She's 10. She'll be 11 this year. And during conversations we have and everything, it's like she'll ask me questions. Well, did you do this back in when you was younger? And I'm like, honey, we didn't even know what that was.
Right.
We didn't. The only thing we knew back then was cell phones were way expensive, and they were in vehicles attached to the car battery and all this other stuff.
My parents had one of those too.
And you had to be rich to have a cell phone.
Right.
So,
My parents had a car phone at one time, and I remember like looking at it and be like, how does this thing even work? Like, what do you, and it was like their emergency, like, because we would go camping all the time and we wouldn't be around phones quite often. So it was kind of their literal emergency sort of situation. Something, God forbid, happened, they could use their car phone. But I remember I just stared at it and be like, why is it attached to the console? Like, what is going on? Like, it just flabbergasted. I remember when like the T-Mobile, or not even T-Mobile, but the flip phones came out, and like I figured out how to take photos on them before my mom even figured out that you could take photos on them, and then I had to teach her how to do it. And they like put bling on the phone. I don't know. I have very random memories of all of these things, and like what my cousin had I think it's like a droid where like flip up and the keyboard would be right here after a while.
oh, yeah.
I just was so taken by all that. I thought it was so cool. But we use my parents still have landline numbers still, so I'm a lot more. That's
my mom had her landline all the way up to about a year and a half, 2 years ago. and that was the same number she had from, oh God, my earliest memories of learning my home phone number, you know.
Right. And
It was the same number, you know, and nobody, and then, you know, you get out of high school and everybody's like, oh, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch. And I'm like, dude, the number ain't changed.
Right.
You didn't call. It gets crazy. So what's your next shows coming up?
I'm playing actually tomorrow. I play on Broadway a few times a week. So tomorrow, FGL House 2 to 6, Saturday, Jason Aldean 6 to 10. And then Monday, Casa Rosa 11 to 2. And then the same thing over the weekend. And then the following week, I'm going up to Minnesota. I'm opening for Tracy Bird.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go. I'll be opening for him, and then I'm playing one more show in Minnesota, one in Wisconsin, then back here. The summer's been pretty crazy with the travel back and forth. I opened for Daryl Worley earlier this summer, and then as well as Little Texas, and then recently just got back from opening for Lori Morgan as well. So it's been, and David Lee Murphy. So it's been a crazy summer, but it has been very fun.
I like that though.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been crazy, the opportunities that I've had to open for people, but I always enjoy just, obviously my show I enjoy so much, but I almost even more so enjoy the opportunity just to stand backstage and like take in and almost study their shows and what they're doing, the ways that they talk and their showmanship, and just seeing how they run their well-oiled machine, because they've had the opportunity to do it for so much longer. It's just cool to study, to see what they do and how they handle situations. You don't really get a whole lot of lessons like that in this career. There isn't a book that tells you what to do.
Oh, so no, there's not.
Opportunity to just watch and take it in and soak it in like a sponge is something that I never take for granted.
Well, see, my whole thing was when I wasn't driving truck Monday through Friday, like Friday when I get in, and Saturday, Sunday, I would do lights and sound all around Nashville. Mm-hmm. So I was always out front of house. Mm-hmm. And then when I kicked the show off, I've had some people contact me to do MCing, introducing bands, you know, stuff like that. So I was in a different area.
Right.
And of course, after you introduce the artist, then you go off stage. And you're backstage, and I'm like taking pictures, because out of all those years when the band was on, I was always front of house.
Right.
So now I'm seeing a whole brand new area. And the thing that it's cool to watch the artist perform and do stuff at that particular angle.
Yeah.
But the thing that I got the biggest hair standing on the arms kind of thing, you know, was watching firsthand the audience reaction.
Right.
And I could just see so much where the energy and the emotion and everything coming from the audience is just like a electricity kind of just kind of
it's an emotional roller coaster too, because there's a lot of responsibility on the person on stage to create that as well, and and to also provide it in a way that they can tangibly feel like they're holding the energy that you have in a bottle. And it's the craziest thing to feel like you have such control. I guess I never even think of it that way when I'm playing. Like when I'm playing, I'm like, we're just gonna have a really good time. When things are sad, we're gonna be sad together. When things are happy, we're gonna be happy together. And when we want to scream, we're gonna scream together. But it is really that you have all of that in your hand and you're just throwing it in the air and hoping that it works. And hoping that somebody perceives it in the way that you're trying to put it off. There's a lot of pressure on that, and that emotional roller coaster is something to truly, like, when you have the opportunity to see it off stage, or whether you're in the crowd or off stage, right, left, wherever, there's a lot to be appreciated about it.
Yeah, because I'll never be, look, I can't write, I can't play, I can't sing. I can stand on stage and MC. I can, you know, I can do that stuff.
Hey, there's room for all of it.
But just to watch, and I'll give you an example, because I thought it was cool as all get out. I did Freedom Jam.
Oh, awesome.
In Missouri, and Morgan Miles was the headline. And she's on stage. And the way she pulled that crowd in, and it was incredible. And to watch the different emotions and the people dancing and the overall just having a blast, the time of their life. And I'm off to the side and I'm able to see that, you know, and it was cool as hell. I'm sorry.
It's no, it is. And it's humbling too, to watch.
It's addictive too.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I want to go back and do some more.
Right. It's the adrenaline.
Yeah. Because I've actually got a couple of shows coming that I've got to MC, and I'm doing a benefit for Westmoreland band. Dustin Spears is headlining it, and I'm going to go down there and help out what I can. But these kids, the whole music department, a lot of their instruments got ruined. So they're trying to get money together to put the instruments back together, repair, get new instruments if they need to or whatever. So he asked me to help out, and I'm going to go help out, donate my time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh,
I'm sure. What a beautiful cause, though, too.
Yeah. And you're going to be on stage downtown. So I can't swipe you and get you to go too.
No. I would have loved to, though.
No, but I want to get downtown and see you live.
Yeah. I'm there 3 times a week right now, unless I'm gone. So.
Okay.
Well, normally 3 times a week.
Well, I'm going to make a note of it. That way I know.
There we go.
Then I'm going to come down there and irritate you. I won't be wearing this hat, though.
I like it.
This is an antique hat.
I think it's cool.
1990 something. It's a Taco Bell hat.
Oh, really?
If you worked at Taco Bell, you had one of these hats. I didn't work at Taco Bell, but
you just stole it from somebody that was working at Taco Bell.
No, I actually had a friend and she kind of gathered up a couple of them and gave them to me. So.
There we go. So you didn't have to commit crime.
No, this one's
it was given. You received it innocently.
Yeah, and I'd totally forgotten about it because when I built my house, I had everything in boxes for years, and then I, built my house and moved in, and I'm just like unpacking stuff and everything else, and my daughter's like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "I don't know, I just got it." And she's like doing her little thing, and pulling it up, and she's like, "That hat is worth," I think it was like almost $30 at the time for a hat that I didn't pay nothing for.
Right.
And I'm like, we started the show and everything, and I'm just like, that's going to be a staple. That's going to be a little something that I do every now and then, and I'm just going to wear the Bullwinkle hat.
Right. You got to.
Something fun.
It's different. I've never experienced somebody wearing that Taco Bell hat, so.
Hey, I'm full of first.
I like it.
What's one thing? I'm going to ask you this because I know you're going to have to go because you got to cook dinner and I ain't had dinner yet either.
Priorities.
Priorities. What is one item that you kind of hold on to, especially when you're going on stage?
Ooh.
Like a good luck charm. And this is the first time.
Stage.
This is the first time I've ever asked this question because I was curious.
Yeah. For me, there was times where I would wear like specific bracelets. I have one that's in memoriam of a friend of mine that I'm always wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like my one item that I would wear all the time on stage. I haven't worn it for a little bit just to try to make sure it doesn't just like deteriorate into dust.
Yeah.
I would say if there was one item, that was definitely my item, and it is still now. And I would wear it if I didn't think I was just gonna bust it.
Yeah, because I've noticed with different people and stuff. I've actually, I don't know, I'm a people watcher, but I've noticed if you watch videos of artists, you'll catch there'll be like this one thing that they've got, in every freaking video.
Right.
And then it occurred to me, well, that's got to be a good luck charm or, you know, that little something to keep them from being not as nervous. Because me personally, I get nervous before every show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I just do. And the first time I emceed, oh God, I had to have a shot. I'm not going to lie. I had to have a shot.
Right.
And just to, and I had to call my son. I had to talk to my son.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, you know, he was like a little voice of reason. He's just like, dude, just get up there and have fun. Shut up.
Right. Exactly. But you need that sometimes because you can get so trapped in your own head. But if there's one thing I've learned about nerves, it's that you're nervous because you care, and you care about how you do, and you care about the responses that you're going to receive. And the nervousness is truly just out of genuine caring for what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I didn't want to disappoint anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That was my big thing. I just didn't want to. And nowadays it's more like, I hope I don't piss nobody off. Well, Dariann, it's been fun, girl.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to get you up here at the studio one day.
Perfect. We'll make it work.
We're not going to tell Ann, though. All right. So tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah. You can find me on all social media platforms at Dariann Leigh, as well as my streaming is all there. You can just go to DariannLeigh.com, find my shows, my merchandise, all of my social media, streaming platforms. Everything's linked on my website. So just DariannLeigh.com if you can't find it on something else. But basically just go to your favorite platform, your favorite streaming platform, social media, whatever it is, search my name and you'll find me there. Awesome.
All right. And like I said before, everybody, y'all check her out. You go to all her links. You got YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Go to YouTube. Check out her videos. Now, here's the part that I love to get on my little soapbox and tell everybody. On this StreamYard stuff, it's got a little banner and it says like, share, follow, and subscribe. Seriously, guys, I mean this. This helps out aspiring artists, established artists. It helps us all out. Even this, whatever the heck I'm doing. It helps me out. And it helps, especially when people are trying to book your favorite artist close to you, because everybody now, it's a numbers game. You've seen a lot of that, haven't you, Dariann?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how everything is just a numbers game nowadays. You got to have the followers. You got to have the subscribers. You got to have all this stuff. And it really, really does help out a lot of people to get the good quality music, the best songs to you, your favorite artist, get them to your hometown to where you can see them up close. And when they're there, get you some merch. Just like Dustin Spears said on my show one day, he was 2 shirts away from not making it to the next town just to do a show.
Right.
I mean, it's reality, folks, because touring has went up. You think the economy's going up, you know, everything else. Well, guess what? Touring costs have went up, sound costs, lighting costs, staging, everything is going up. And it's not all going into our pockets, going in your pocket. It's going to everybody else to make this show happen, because what y'all don't know is there's 1,000 crazy people behind the scenes making that show work. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get out of here. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. Which reminds me, I got to go to your YouTube and do my subscribe to your stuff too. And stay in touch with me, and I will see you downtown one Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's usually when you play? Yeah. Okay. And I'll come down there and hang out, and I'll be out in the audience going, yeah.
Perfect. I'll look for you.
All right. We're going to get out of here, y'all. Appreciate you. Like, share, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you more later. Bye.